net of Dawson. Well, indeed. Left arm round the wicket for Dawson. Then he comes down the pitch to him, drives it hard, but again it ends up with Nisa at long on. Sliding stop in the end, and just a single taken. Well to get round quickly to it, Michael. Nisa release the throw quickly, so no thought of a second for Kent, but 10 off this over so far. That's one that Kent needed. Losing a couple of wickets and a bit of a slowdown, but he comes down, a bit of a smear, that one. He's looked, I think, to drag that slog sweep. It's a characteristic Sam Billings shot, but it's low and outside the off stump. It's ended up straight back at the bowler somehow. Real attempted mow outside the off stump to drag it into the onside, but here's Dawson to him. It's left outside the off stump, and that will be a wide as well. Well judged, says the umpire.
I think he thought Billings was coming down the wicket there.
Certainly cat and mouse here. Ball to come over the 10th over. Kent 82 for 3. Dawson round the wicket to Billings, and that one's wide as well. This really is cat and mouse. This is a bit like baseball, isn't it?
It's very funny.
Just way outside the off stump. He's waiting for Billings to try that, perhaps that slog sweep and get down on one knee, drag it onside. Billings is just staying where he is at the moment, and once more, just clips that off his pads up towards mid-wicket. They call for 2. Hot again from Denley. Does he get there in time? It's close, but Denley's who's right on the spot, static watching that. They have got the 2. It's well run in the end, and that'll be 87 for 3 then at halfway here of the Kent innings. And 16 taken off the over. Yeah. Sorry, back where you were. I thought it was 87. I beg your pardon. I was getting ahead of myself. It is 85 for 3, and it is 14. I'll get back in my box. Only one. Billings 19, but intriguing contest this, isn't it?
Well, I think the feature of the Kent batting, apart from the fact they got away to a very fast start, is the running of the 2s, because that's actually to the slight shorter boundary side, way to our right. Still a big boundary, but they are looking for 2s at every opportunity. And of course, in a close scoring game, which this may be, that may be the difference. Here's Benny Howell then. Denley's on the back foot, strokes that up towards deep mid-off. It's a single to him. Stephen Clark's emailed, suncricket@gmail.com. He's in the stands at the far end. He says, phew, in weather and finally getting some wickets. A quick shout out to the usual crew of Chris, Neil, Dave, Trevor, Pixie, who are with me, and the addition of Chasey. Wow. Always great listening on the earpiece. Thank you, Stephen. It's one of the ways you can listen to us. BBC Sport Online. BBC Kent, DAB. So that's on the leg side for a single Sam Billings, 86 for 3. We're also on the live picture feed, which is going out on the Hampshire Cricket website and app, which is free to download. That will be going back to the Kent Cricket website as well. There's too many. If I mentioned it all, the game would be over. There is some others in there as well. I said BBC Radio Sun, all frequencies as well, as all T20s games are. Slower ball driven out into the covers by Denley. Straight to Dawson.
But suffice to say, if you're in your living room, on your smart TV, you're with your laptop, your phone, you're in the car, you're out in the garden doing some gardening, you can find us.
Yeah, we do want to avoid it, actually. Denley comes down the wicket, hammers that over Benny Howell's head. One bounce for 4, up towards the far end of the ground. Lovely shot. Again, good use of the feet from a Kent batter. Denley moves on to 6. That's not total on to 91.
That's a good shot, Denley.
Lots of music, of course, which I keep remembering. Always one was a shadow gone over the ground. A cloud has gone over, but it's a beautiful afternoon here, as I'm sure it is wherever you are. I think it's one of those days where anywhere in the UK is a good day. It's pulled away by Denley, who takes one hand off the bat as he does so, goes out to deep mid-wicket. The familiar position of James Fuller out there away to our left, and Denley moves on to 7. Wonderful 7 for him. 92 for 3, Kent, coming towards the end of over number 11 of 20. I'll keep an eye on that cut-off time as well, because that affected the game on Thursday. I don't think it affected the game on Chelmsford, I don't think. Matt, he didn't say anything, so I'm assuming that. That's a nice drive from Billings up towards deep mid-on. There'll be 2 here, certainly. Nisa, I think that is. Throwing towards the keeper's end. The stumps are broken, but Billings is home. That is the end of over number 11. 94 for 3, Kent.
Yeah, certainly, Kent, pushing the envelope, as I like to say, with the running, aren't they? That's right on the edge. But, 94 for 3. So actually 9 off the over in total, and they're with no boundaries, or just one boundary in that. They are owing a lot to their running there. So this Kent pair is absolutely lightning. Confident running too. 94 for 3, Denley 7, Billings 22. So however you're receiving us this afternoon, a very warm welcome to you. It's a perfect day for cricket. You're enjoying the day wherever you are. Very much too early to call where this contest is going at this point, Kevin.
We're on for a hat-trick.
For the hat-trick.
Shall I do with this one? Thank you, it's very kind of you. Matt is a stalwart of sport at BBC Kent, and he's just shown his experience there. So hat-trick ball for James Fuller. Comes in and bowls. It's a length ball. It won't be a hat-trick because that is nicely played out on the onside by Joe Denley, almost as if he made sure that wouldn't be a hat-trick ball because he played it nicely in behind it. Nice straight bat, elbow high. Just worked it into the onside for a single. So no hat-trick for James Fuller, but we had a bit of fun with the first 2 balls of his previous, or the last 2 balls of his previous over, where we dismissed Daniel Bell-Drummond and Tawanda Miyeye. Apologies, although it's nothing to do with me, but apologies there is no score if you're watching on the live picture feed. Many of you have been getting in touch. Here's Fuller, or you.
To Billings, and checks that back past the bowler. One bounce, brilliant fielding by Vince, and a throw in as well that challenged Billings to dive towards the non-striker's end. That is a fantastic bit of fielding. Absolute lightning from James Vince. First cutting it off because it looked like all ends up it's going to be a 4, and then releasing the throw almost as he fell. Billings, well, that tested his running certainly, but a single taken there, 96 for 3. We'll keep you up to date with the score after every ball. In fact,
will we
normally do.
Will we now?
Is that a promise? Is Fuller to Denley. We'll do our best anyway. Pulls that one away, Denley. Maybe kept it a little bit low on him. Fuller taking the pace off the ball again. They'll go for 2. And Billings, well, if it had been a direct hit, it's asking a lot, I think, of Michael Neser there with a stump and a half to aim at. But if it hit, Billings had gone. But it was a shy at the stumps from long on, effectively. So it would have been tough. But they have run the 2 there. And Kevin, you're saying they...
Well, I think Kent have done this the best I've seen of any opposition side here. All the years of T20, all the games here. I think the running between the wickets here to get that second run has been the best I've seen.
Absolutely committing to it at the moment. Fuller bowls to Denley once more. Denley up towards long on. This will not be 2. There you go. I don't know much, but I'm assured of that. That's gone straight to Nice, so they're not taking him on for that one. And that's another single. And James Fuller. Well, quite. Again, proving really difficult to hit, as he was, of course, in that first over where he took the 2 wickets at the end of it. Just 5 off it so far. Vastly experienced. He played around the world, of course, as a franchise cricketer. And
playing his 68th T20 game just for Hampshire alone.
I think he was in the South African T20 as well in the spring. James Fuller bowls to Billings, comes down the pitch. It's a swing and a miss. And has he taken pace off that one? It's done just bounced before Ben McDermott. It's not way over the stumps, that one from Fuller, but it's a dot ball. Again, just putting the brakes on. Because every time that Kent trying to break away here, there's an over for the Hampshire Hawks where they bring it back, and they turn to James Fuller to do just that. Just 5 off it so far. Ball's come of the 12th over. 99 for 3, Kent Spitfires. Over the wicket now. 2 Billings comes down the pitch, not in control of that one. Where has that ended up? Behind square on the offside, and that's 4. I'm not sure he played that intentionally, Kevin, unless I completely lost sight of it. Because this is basically a flurry of bat, and it's 100 up for Kent. It's 103 for 3. I'm having just trouble describing that shot because basically there's just a fly of the bat as it's short outside the off stump, and it's ended up back with a square, back with a point for 4 runs. I'm not sure Sam Billings knew where that one was going himself.
No, he's just gone through with the shot. He's used his feet. He's nowhere near the pitch of the ball. He's just gone through the shot anyway. It's hit through the line. And I guess because he tried to go at it quite hard, so he's got the ball over the infield, even though it's nowhere near the middle of the bat. So it's a good crowd today, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the action. There are plenty of it. Kent getting away to a very fast start, 59 without loss in the 6th, but then 2 wickets at the end of the power play. It's just halted things a little bit. Now Denley and Billings trying to build a partnership as Dawson switched ends. Denley uses his feet, drives back to Dawson, good diving stop.
Again, it was 9 off that over with that boundary right at the end. It's just nudged it up for Kent as well. So they're going around about 8.5 and over here.
Yeah,
so
not bad.
About 170 pace.
Here's Dawson again, bowling to Denley. Again, he's using his feet. Oh, it's missed stumping. Or did he get an edge on that? I think it might be runs down towards fine leg. What's the umpire signalling? He's going to signal byes. He's missed everybody. Down the leg side slightly, but between the body of Denley and the stumps. But McDermott didn't see it. 107 for 3. You mentioned about 170 pace. Last year, which Hampshire won, the game that Hampshire won, they won with 221 for 3. Kent could only get 167 in reply. But in the previous matches, Kent reached 182 for 6 won in the first innings. That's off the pad. Good running there. McDermott will throw at the bowler's end. That should be a leg bye. No, there was inside edge onto the pad of Denley. In 2020, which was COVID year, Hampshire 182, but Kent chased that down for the loss of 2. Crawley 100 on that day. That was in the 18th over. Kent chased Hampshire's 145 for 5 back in 2019. So 70 is usually a good score here. Hampshire couldn't defend 169 against Surrey here, though. On Thursday night, down the wicket comes Billings, works it away behind square on the leg side. Now, are they going to run 2? Yeah, Billings is going to take it on again, and he's comfortably home. Again, Hampshire are just struggling somewhat to try and keep these ones down to 1. It's a good aggressive running from this Kent pair. Joe Weatherly, that was running in from the deep backward square leg boundary. 110 for 3 in the 13th, Kent. Having won the toss and elected to bat first. These two came together when the score was on 71. So on our calculations, they put on 39, I think that is. That's worked away on the onside. This could be 4. No, James Fuller's around in behind that quite nicely, but it's a comfortable 2 this time. 112 for 3.
It'll be hot work for these two, won't it? They've run so many 2s, you said, on a real absolute pace. Sprinting as well, but it's worked well so far. So 9 off the over.
Yeah. Last ball of the 13th over here. It's Dawson. His last ball of his 3rd over. Comes in and bowls. Gives himself a little bit of room there. Hits that behind square on the offside. That's half stopped. May not have gone to the boundary, but certainly that's a good diving stop from Nick Gubbins, who's into the side for the injured Ali Orr. 114 for 3, 13 gone.
I think that's deliberate from Billings. Just didn't shave enough off it to get it past the field. It's a really good stop. We've got themselves 2 in any case. 14 for 3. Billings on 33 from 22. Joe Denley 12 from 13 so far. Billings just down on his haunches, chatting to Joe Denley. Punch of gloves between the two of them. They've run really well, as Kevin was saying, making 1s into 2s. So change of bowling at this end. James Fuller is replaced by John Turner, who went for 16 in his first over in the power play. So we're saying, Kevin, he didn't bowl badly, but it was an onslaught from Daniel Bell-Drummond, prepared to take him off a length. Left his bouncers to the boundary as well. He'll bowl to Joe Denley, running away from us now. 6 on his back. Denley makes himself room and drives that into the offside. Stop. What a stop that was. My eyes already drawn towards the boundary, but that's been stopped at cover. You can see that is Liam Dawson. What a great stop that was. Again, that's hit with real force by Joe Denley. It's a dot ball, courtesy of some very fine fielding indeed. 114 for 3. So Turner to Denley. So this one tries to pull this one away. It's looping up. It'll fall short of the field, though, at long on. Again, he's trying to cart that over forward a square, perhaps on the onside, but it's ended up at long on. Has just got a little bit big on him, maybe quicker than he thought. High on the bat, loops up. They get themselves a single anyway, though.
Yeah, no infielders on the leg side. You can miss hit that and get away with that, can't you?
I suppose that's the risk reward, isn't it? He knows it's unless he top edges it, he's going to be more or less safe. There's a man inside the circle at fine leg, but it's deep backward square, mid wicket. Long on as Billings comes forward. Just attractive flay into the offside, that one, but fielded by Weatherly on the offside boundary, so just a single. And they are hitting hard, these two, but able to find the gaps in this over so far. It's John Turner. His breakthrough year last year, was it Turner's?
Yes, had a very good debut year, 22 wickets.
Ended up playing the 100 as well. And Turner too. Denny goes to the ramp. Will he be caught off it? Oh, he's dropped. He's just ramped that away. Innovative shot. And the fielder, I think, was trying to just anticipate which way that was going to go. Found himself on the wrong foot, perhaps. Got both hands to it, though. Did James Fuller. And has put it down, though. What will that cost them, I wonder? They come through for a single. Then he goes on to 14.
Well, it kept going, and he was there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't difficult. What's that, about thigh height?
So Turner to Billings. He goes for the paddle, and that'll be 4. It will indeed, over the keeper's head. And just lifts it through fine leg. And that's 4 runs again. As Ken was saying, it's a difficult thing being a bowler in T20. As Billings is just using John Turner's pace against him. The 50 partnership is up. Billings 30 of them, Denley 14.
31 balls, that 50. It's really worked for Hampshire so far.
Yeah. 1 ball to come off 14th. And they're 121 for 3. What do you do with a wicket here, Hampshire? Just to slow things down. So these two getting into their work. Ken point of view, these two can be there at 16, 17 overs maybe. Well, beyond ideally, but got himself runs on the board again. Billings tries an improvised shot and it loops away to the leg side. Keeper was the most interested. It was never going to get there, Ben McDermott, and that's a single. Just wonder if it was a leg by for a second. A bit sort of bat and pad up in the air on the leg side. He again tried to on the offside rather, trying to lift it away. But ended up falling harmlessly from a Kent point of view. Single off the last ball of the over. Billings 39, Denny has 14. The Kent Spitfires 122 for 3, 8 off the over.
Yeah, good partnership between these two. Jo, who's normally on the ground, doesn't miss a game. So the fact that she's not here, you know there must be something big going on. Jo was emailed, sunandcricket@gmail.com. Says, sadly not in the ground today as we'll be heading to the other stadium. She says the wrong stadium, but it's the other one. Later today for Ollie Merson Take That with Mum, Dad. Of course, Dad's name is Bill, but I call him Mr. Joe. Is there listening in with his earpiece? So you might surprise him if they read this out. Great start for Woody today, as it was. Hoping to hear a Hampshire win to get my evening off with a bang. Good luck to all those going to the Take That concert tonight.
I know you don't need luck.
Well, yeah. Good luck, or just, what do you say for concerts? Enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show.
Something like that, yes. Fuller's on at the pavilion end, comes in and bowls, and it's short, and it's pulled away by Billings along the ground, out towards deep mid-wicket. They're going to take the throw on. And the throw comes in, but again, the batters are home. They can't keep running these two. Surely the puff, the energy is somewhere, it's got to drain out of them somewhere. 38 years old, Joe Denny can't keep running twos like this, surely. Anyway, Denny's on 14, but Billings is on 41 from just 26.
He's kept himself in pretty good nick, as Joe Denny. I think it's fair to say. Yeah, just 2 4s and 1 6 in this 41 from Billings so far.
124 for 3. Here's Fuller again, down the wicket, pulled away by Billings this time, out towards deep backward square leg, and they jog through as if they need a bit of time to actually summon the energy for the next hard run 2. They've literally walked that single.
But they
125 for 3.
As you say, sprinting so many of these twos. It's not jog through, is it? They're absolutely going hell for leather. So we'll take something out of the stamina, you'd think. But Billings 42 from 27. Important not from him today.
Yeah, terrific. Full at the top of his mark, starts it just outside the 30-yard circle from that far end. As we look, he's running towards us now. Bowling to Joe Denley, down the leg side. Denley lets that one go by because he knows it's a wide. Slightly slower ball as it's on the second bounce through to McDermott. Well, score moves on to 126 for 3. We are 2 balls into the 15th over here. Kent in a good position. They were 59 without loss, lost 2 wickets on 59. Bill Drummond and the A8, they lost Crawley on 71. This partnership Let's put Kent firmly back on track. As Fuller comes in again to Joe Denley, and Denley's pulling that away on the onside, goes quickly out to deep square leg, and they just jog the single. It's either one thing or the other, isn't it, really? They've gone from one end of the scale to the other. It's either a slow jog or a walk to actually full pelt. There's nothing in between. They don't do in between.
I guess there's a reason for that, isn't it? If you hit it hard enough, almost, it's going to be a single.
Right.
Sounds ridiculous. If you
There's no point. If it was a bobbly outfield, then I suppose they would put the fielders under pressure. But this outfield, of course, like most countergrounds, all countergrounds really, are pretty level and smooth and quite nice, really. 127 for 3. Here's Fuller bowling. He's given himself some room. It's down the leg side, and that'll be a wide. I think Fuller may just have seen Billings move to the leg side, so tried to follow him, and of course Billings then sort of almost moved back, or certainly stopped.
Yeah, he's got even further out, doesn't he, to try and to pin Billings there. Bit of a sort of matador hip movement by Sam Billings there,
Yes,
to let the ball go past. And
matador hip movement.
Yeah. little swerve there.
Fan of the bullfight?
Not at all, no, I have to say. But
128 for 3 then.
Think of another allegory for that.
Here comes Fuller. It's full, and Billings does well to open the face of the bat and work that out on the offside. Liam Dawson falls over as he tries to throw the ball back to the keeper.
I call it a rumba or samba hit movement, but these days people are absolute experts, aren't they? Having watched seasons and seasons of Strictly Come Dancing, so I know I get myself into trouble for that as well. So I'm going to go away and do some homework, Kev. You're absolutely right.
No, but I thought that was a really good description. One that I've not heard before.
There we go.
29 for 3. 2 balls left of the 15th. Denley on strike, 15 from 17. Here comes Fuller, bowls. Denley works that full delivery out on the onside. It's come off the bottom of the bat, and there's the slow jog walk. Just put the bat down in the end at the very last minute type of run this time. 130 for 3.
Almost looked like Sam Billings was doing that to make a point. He'd be moving so slowly at the end of that. He was creeping.
Incredible, isn't it? It's either absolutely hell for leather,
yeah,
or nothing.
They've conserved a little bit of energy, I would have said, in this over, haven't they?
Billings is only 32.
Spring chicken.
Tried to heave that away on the leg side, wrapped on the pad there. The old front foot was wide outside leg stump. Couldn't quite get underneath the ball there. Good end of the over there from Fuller. 130 for 3. 8 runs off it, though. And we have 5 overs left.
It's supposed sort of conventional wisdom on this from T20 would be try and target 10 and over for the last 5, and that would take them to 180. I think that would be good going on this pitch, to be honest. The way Hampshire bowled, they get themselves to 180. More than that, I would say would be a bonus. Below 170, you might think going to be in trouble on this pitch.
It looks a good wicket, doesn't it, at the moment? It was a pretty good wicket the other night, to be fair. Hampshire just lost 3 wickets in the power play, which set them back somewhat. They did well to get to 169. But for a very powerful Surrey side, even though they're missing many England players, that was
batting and bowling lineup.
So it was a breeze. Tom Curran got them over the line mainly.
Liam Dawson to bowl his last over. He's gone for 24 from his 3, the left arm spinner. To Denley, comes down the pitch. She ends up driving that out towards extra cover, and there'll be a single. Again, it's got there too quickly for them to have to run for a second. 31 for 3. Seems completely counterintuitive, but that's he's hit it too well almost to get themselves 2 there. Billings on strike. He has 43 from 29 so far. Spitfires captain goes to the reverse there, has telegraphed it, it's snurdled off bat and pad. He doesn't wait to look at the finger going up. Ben McDermott dives to his right. I think he's okay, he's gone down very heavily, maybe just got the wind knocked out of him, but has taken that catch. Sam Billings goes for what could be an important 43 from 30 balls for Kent, 2 4s and 1 6. His stay at the crease has gone, but it could go either way here. Might be an absolute vital wicket for Hampshire to take. We'll see what batting comes next. Joey Everson will come in at 6. The young all-rounder replace Sam Billings. Go on at 43.
Well, super innings from Sam Billings. But what a catch from Ben McDermott. He went up in the air, looped up in the air, and he did quite a wide circle, didn't he? Almost did 360 degrees, trying to work out where the ball was.
Spinning in the Yeah,
Yeah, it was. Did very, very well indeed. It looks like he fell awkwardly. He's on his knee, well, he's got his hands on his knees at the moment. Probably just winded him as much as anything. Sometimes if you fall a little awkwardly like that. But the fact he held onto the ball was a fantastic effort. But Sam Billings, great innings from him. 30 balls? Yeah, 30 balls.
Yeah.
2 4s and 6.
30. And the stand of 60 with Joe Denley. So Dawson it will be to Joey Everson. Still in the habit of looking to make sure the batsman hasn't crossed, but that doesn't actually apply anymore, does it? That's I'm living in the past. I'm living 2 years ago. As Everson just nudges this into the onside to get off the mark for a single. But, rules have changed across cricket, haven't they? In all forms of cricket now, there's no crossing while the ball's in the air to get yourself back on strike. Which, as Dawson bowls to Billings on the back foot, driving up to James Fuller for a single at a long off. Used to help the batting side, didn't it? Because you could almost go, you could sacrifice yourself, what they call a sacrifice fly in baseball, don't they? You put the ball in the air and it allows you to cross. So whatever happens to that ball, you can get the right batter back on strike. But these days, this is Denley just driving it gently up to long on this time, taking any liberties with Dawson. I wonder if this is a case. There's only one ball to come here. They're just going to see Dawson out for the rest of this over, and then it'll be the end of him in bowling anyway for this match. 1 for 28. As Denley faces, no, he gives him the charge, and that's up in the air. Could be caught on the boundary, and is. James Fuller does really well. Gets round the boundary early, about 10 yards to his right, sets himself, and Denley has gone. Those are 2 huge wickets for the Hampshire Hawks, with Kent losing not only skipper Sam Billings, but also the man that shared in a 60 partnership with him, Joe Denley, in the same over. Denley gone for 18 from 21 balls, and that will set Kent a very interesting task for the last 4 overs, with the lower middle order and tail to try and push them towards a convincing score. At 134 for 5 now, it does look like the shoe is on the other foot. Hampshire advantage, I say, at this point.
Yeah, another good spell from Liam Dawson there, and James Fuller just punch in the air there when he held on to that, because he did drop Denley on 14. Wasn't particularly expensive, but he's taken 2 catches in the match. As James Fuller, the court bowled that got rid of Daniel Bell-Drummond, the ball went absolutely high in the sky. It was up there for absolutely ages. Good court and bowled.
Sorry, just say Marcus O'Riordan coming in place of Denley now, but Joey Everson on strike.
Joey Everson, just 22 years of age, playing his 11th T20 game for Kent. Played just the 1 for Notts before he joined Kent. Here's Benny Howell then, with his ever so slow medium paces, and then different speeds from that. And that's worked away on the leg side. Never more than about 2 or 3 miles in it either way, I don't think. Miles an hour. At 135 for 5, so Riordan into bat, 26 years of age.
Yeah, got himself a little cameo of 13, including a mighty 6 against Middlesex on Friday. It's a utility cricketer, I would say. Just good at everything.
Howell bowls, pulls that away, and that stops at mid-wicket. Super stop there from James Vince. So 135 for 5. We're in the 17th over here. The cut-off time, I think, is 2:18. We're at 2:06 at the moment, so Hampshire should be all right. That's Howell comes in again, and that's flat batted back to Howell this time. No runs, so that's 2 dot balls in a row. Haven't seen too many of those this afternoon. Crowd here in the sunshine. Beautiful afternoon. Perfect T20 weather. Many people said that before the start of this game, and that's hammered away on the leg side. He's got that over mid-wicket. It's gone down to wide mid-on. I think that's Nisa at the far end of the ground. 2 runs. Comfortable 2 runs for the Kent pair. Riordan is off the mark. 137 for 5. 2 balls left of over number 17.
Orin will probably play the Benny Howell role, if that makes sense, with Matt Parkinson the spin.
Yep.
And they have pace off, and Orin's off breaks.
Reverse sweep there, and he's bowled. Second wicket for Benny Howell this afternoon, and Riordan goes for 2, and Kent now 137 for 6.
And very much advantage Hampshire now here. Kent have to, I was going to say, rebuild this innings, but in danger of just letting things slide. This nagging bowling from Benny Howell. As Kim was saying, his second wicket, 2 for 19 so far. He's 17th over. Swanepoel will come in next, the South African. We've seen he's very much prepared to swing from the boundary. Even in his first county championship match, he got 50 and basically played a shot a ball, more or less. So on Friday, just got out, hit one very crisp boundary out next ball court. So you've got an idea of what we might expect from him. Although Kent really needs someone to stick around just for a few deliveries here, don't they? It's not a lot. Doesn't seem like a lot, rather. 19 deliveries, but they need to make the most of them. Grant Stewart will come in next. He really does like to biff the ball. But at the moment, Hampshire have a bit of a stranglehold here, I'd say.
Left-hander. He strikes at 159, so he won't hang around, you're right. There's Howell round the wicket then to Swanepoel. It's down the leg side, and it's missed everybody. It's a wide. It could be 4 wides. It's going over the rope. And Howell just looks at the ground, and he's got that horribly wrong. And it's not easy for the keeper, of course, standing up, and the angle, of course, takes it even further wide down the leg side. 142 for 6. Swanepoel, part of the Sunrisers Eastern Cape side that won the South African T20. A.D. Birrell, Hampshire's head coach. Part of was the head coach for that. Won it 2 years in a row, the 2 editions of that. Swanepoel didn't actually play in the final. He played 5 matches for Sunrisers Eastern Cape. Slower ball, and what's that come off? Inside edge. The ball trickles down towards fine leg. I think it is an inside edge. I thought that had bowled him. Benny Howell, I think, was asking for the LBW. In the end, it's just a single. Quite not the best cricket I've seen, really. He's trying to give himself some room, and it could have been bowled. It could have been anything there, but it's a single anyway. 143 for 6.
Yeah, so once again, 3 overs to go. I think they need 170 plus here, Kent.
They've lost wicket in clusters, haven't they?
They have,
59 without loss, and then 71 for 3, and then that 60-run partnership between Billings and Denley, but they were 131 for 3, and then 137 for 6. Here they are, 143 for 6.
And Chris Wood is to return, rather, from the hotel end here. 2 overs, none for 5, and that is not flattering him, I think it's fair to say. They just couldn't lay a glove on him, the openers, who raced away to a 50 partnership. But Wood now to bowl, 2-swap bowl, comes down the pitch to him, and it doesn't sound like he's timed it. It's a little bit toe-endy maybe into the offside, and it's a single. A thinner sound, 144 for 6 then. And Joey Everson comes to strike, 3 off 3. Really announced himself in his first season. He was on loan to Kent, and they won the One Day Cup, and he scored 98 in the final. At his former home of Trent Bridge. That went down well with the locals, I can tell you. As Kent signed him, 144 for 6, but looks a really promising player. I just thought he was 22. It's Wood to him, drives though, again, doesn't look particularly well timed. Chris Wood is finding something perhaps in this pitch that no one else is, and well, I wouldn't put it past him. He's an experienced campaigner, obviously. Variation, nipping the ball around.
Yeah, Hampshire's highest wicket taker in this competition with 186.
He has deserved a wicket. He may get one. Swanepoel now facing him, the left-hander. Dances down the pitch. That's very wide, I think it's fair to say. Yeah, rare spray from Wood there, because I don't know if he was expecting Swanepoel to dance way outside the off stump, but he was just trying to perhaps flirt with the blue line outside the off stump and just make it unhittable, but wide instead. Not much harm done. 146 for 6. The Spitfires, that one gets close. Swanepoel is going to be caught as well, as he's tried anything to just fend out, I think, off his chest and get to clear the infield. It's fielded at backward point, or caught at backward point, and he has gone for just 2. Never got settled. And that's Toby Albert with the catch. And Chris Wood with the bowling. He's been excellent for Hampshire so far. And Kent just rocking a little bit here.
Well, you're right. I mean, 170 looked almost a foregone conclusion for a while, didn't it? But he might do pretty well. I think a lot less on Grant Stewart here. Big strike of the ball, as you say. He strikes at 162 per 100. He certainly won't be hanging around.
Just in terms of distance he can hit. He is certainly a big hitter, but they still have, where are we? It's 15 balls, isn't it? Still left.
Yeah.
So these two need to put something together with Bartlett to come after them. Is Wood then to Stewart. Stewart, a little bit uppish into the offside, but circumspect from his pugnacious standards. It goes for a single into the offside, and this one added to the score then. 147 for 7 Spitfires coming towards the end of the 18th. Will be fascinating to see how this pitch wears as it gets slower during the Hampshire innings. It's gone for that one, Everson. That's gone up in the air towards the offside. Safe. They'll come back for a hard run too. Stewart just had to put the afterburners on, I think, as he saw the throw coming in from James Fuller. He was thinking it was coming quite that quickly, but they do get themselves back for 2. So 49 for 7. One legitimate delivery to come from Chris Wood. Has 1 from 11 so far. Ball shy of his 3rd over. And Everson tucks this into the onside up towards long on. Takes a strike for the start of the 18th over. It's 150 up for Kent Spitfires. Exactly 150 for 6 at the end of the 18th. It's another great over for Chris Wood.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the cut-off time. I think it may just have gone to 19 minutes past. Either that or it's 18. I couldn't quite make it out on the screen, which means Hampshire need to start the 20th over before that time. It's going to be close. I just noticed Chris Wood actually 1 or 2 balls in that over, just sort of getting a move on as he made his way back to the end of his mark. But anything happens here, a few boundaries, and it just slows the play a little bit. Hampshire might be in trouble. If they are, then that one fielder gets taken out of the deep and put into the circle. That's the only penalty, but in a close game, of course, that can make a difference. Here's Turner from the pavilion end. He's given himself some room there. Works that on the onside. Doesn't quite reach deep mid-on. Joey Everson will pick up a single. Ball just followed him a little bit. John Turner is starting to jog back to his mark. Hampshire very aware here that they need to bowl the next 5 balls pretty quickly. 151 for 7. Stewart on strike, 1 for 1. Stewart's playing his 52nd T20 game for Kent. Gives himself some room, tries to hammer that away. Bowl goes between him and the stump, so not a wide. Yeah, but Dermot doesn't take it cleanly. I think the ball just died on him a fraction. John Turner again jogging back to his mark. It's 1/4 on the clock. In fact, it's 2:16. I think that says 2:18. I'm pretty sure. I haven't got my binoculars with me.
It's either 18 or 19, but you're right. It has a 1.
Yeah.
The digit.
Pulls that away. That looks a good shot there from Stewart. Oh my word, that is a super shot. That's over mid-wicket for 6. He's hammered that away. We know he can do it. But be careful here. He's a dangerous player down the order.
This is 67th T20 game in total. He's played quite a lot for Italy as well, T20 internationals.
Yeah, it's part of Gareth Berg's revolution.
His mum is Italian, so I think that he's not quite the.
Oh, right. I thought if you'd visited Venice for the day,
well, no, quite.
Bergie was on the phone.
He actually is a proper claim to be an Italian.
Here's Turner. That's a short delivery, and that's a good one. Stewart wants a wide. He wants something. He's not going to get it. That's a really good, quick delivery, short from John Turner. That's what he's about. 57 for 7. I suppose now when you play the tourist tax at Venice, you get a ticket for it, you can actually prove to Gareth Berg saying, look, I was in Venice. Can I play for Italy? Yeah, please. Look, here's proof. Here's Turner from the pavilion end, bowls and next ball. That's hammered away by Stewart. Not as far this time. And this could be caught at deep mid-wicket, and it is. James Fuller takes his 3rd catch of the innings, and Stewart goes for 7, and it's 157 now for 8.
Yeah, Indeed. So Grant Stewart, the big hitting lower order batter, has gone 4-7 with that 1-6, 5 balls. Caught Fuller, a bold turner. James Fuller, 2 wickets, 2 catches, proving his worth. He may get some runs as well. 157 for 8 then. And Xavier Bartlett will come in next with 7 balls to go. So it looks like Kent will at least use up their overs here, but they have crumbled from, as you were saying, Kevin, 131 for 3, 157 for 8 now.
So just explain Bartlett's situation, because his no objection certificate was revoked initially, wasn't it, by Australia?
It was for red ball cricket.
Red ball cricket. Fine. Here's Turner then to Bartlett. Bartlett pulls that away on the onside. More work to do for Fuller. It's along the ground. Everson thought about 2. He was the first to the other end. And that is the end of the 19th over. It looks like Hampshire have done it by about a minute. As regards to the start of the 20th over, it's 2:18 showing on the board. So so it was only ever red ball. He was always okay for the T20s.
Not always okay, no. So they withdrew the no objection certificate for the red ball cricket. I think because he's become more and more important to them. He's going up the pecking order, as it were, for seamers, although he's not in the World Cup squad, obviously. But there was some question about whether he'd be able to play T20 at that point for Kent, but then they did allow him to, or have allowed him to. Would to Bartlett. The swing and a miss from him. It's just basically gone across the right-hander, nicked off the pitch through to the wicket-keeper, and that is a dot ball. Great delivery from Chris Wood.
Confirmation that there are 5 fielders on the circle, so Hampshire haven't been penalised because they literally started bowling at 4:19.
But yeah, he topped the wicket taking for Brisbane Heat as they won the Big Bash, and for the whole tournament rather. Did Bartlett. Batting now. It's a big thump on the pad, and he's gone. And Kent are 9 down, 158 for 9. And Chris Wood's afternoon just gets better and better, but that's all through his own talent. And again, it's a swing and a miss from Xavier Bartlett, and this time he is LBW to Chris Wood. Staying for 3 balls for his 1. And last man in will be Matt Parkinson, who's shown in the championship the 2 unknown batting powers, but I'm not sure T20 is going to be quite to his liking. 4 balls to come, or possible. Kent 158 for 9 may fall short of using all of those.
Just watching that LBW decision on the replay, of course, bowling left arm over, there's no swing back into the right-hander. The ball has to be full, otherwise it's going to be pitching outside leg stump. I tell you what, it was dangerously close to being pitched, even though it's quite full. It was, I'd like to see it again, that's for sure, in slow motion, but even so. Could have gone either way, that LBW decision.
So Parkin to face Wood now, and does engineer that into the offside. It's just gone over the fielder's head there, and I'm not sure that's exactly where he intended, but Benny Howe stretching at extra cover, couldn't get it before it dropped. And Joey Everson, well, if anyone's going to face the last 3 balls out these, or Everson has 8